Nightbeat starts right now.
Coming up tonight on the Nightbeat, how the rising gas prices are affecting app-based delivery drivers. Some are even rethinking their line of work. Also, an update on the shooting at a Northside ISD property on a charter bus from a Dallas ISD school. The latest on the victim's condition and what the Dallas ISD superintendent had to say about the incident. But first, two staff members with Medina Valley Independent School District both failed their drug tests. Now, one says that she was forced to resign, but the other not only kept his job, but was also promoted. And in this Defenders update, the night team's Dylan Collier uncovers the apparent preferential treatment that was offered to athletic director Lee Crisp and the frenzied fallout that it's now causing.
Months after community members signed this letter detailing concerns about Medina Valley Independent School District athletic director and head football coach Lee Crisp, he still has the backing of leadership. Allegations against Crisp include that he has appeared to be under the influence at school functions, that last fall he refused to allow a player to ride home with the team following a game in Lockhart, forcing the teenager to catch his own ride for the 90-mile trip, and that Crisp made fun of another player's speech impediment in back-to-back practices. What's not in dispute, the district personnel paperwork of Crisp, which shows he admitted to failing a state drug test tied to his commercial driver's license after taking medication without a prescription.
The physical was where he had popped dirty.
Meet Richard Broom. He was Medina Valley ISD's transportation director at the time of Crisp's failed test and said the coach showed up at his office pleading his case and later admitted to illegally getting prescription meds from a family member, putting his CDL and school bus endorsements in peril.
This isn't something that I can just be okay with. Like, the test is there. I can't hide that.
Broom says he was later informed by administration that Crisp would be kept on and was given a probationary period to clean up his act, even though he had violated what Broom believed was a zero-tolerance policy on drugs in the workplace. Crisp, who did not respond to multiple requests from the Defenders seeking comment for this story, not only stayed employed, he was promoted to athletic director and head football coach.
Are you surprised that an exception was made for Crisp?
Not for a coach, no.
Sources say Crisp no longer drives athletes to and from competitions, but compare his professional fate to that of another MVISD employee who drove buses. She told the Defenders off camera she failed the same type of TxDOT drug screening in 2016 after marijuana she used had not left her system. The woman, who had worked for Medina Valley for well over a decade, says she resigned in lieu of being terminated and understands the district had no choice but to cut ties with her, describing the responsibility of driving children as, quote, "It's an important task you have."
The apparent favoritism shown towards Crisp has driven a wedge in this community. On one side, people who want the coach fired. On the other, those who have called it a witch hunt.
As with most life lessons, we did not expect the scrutiny to come in such a vicious form.
A district board meeting last month can best be described as tense, as Crisp supporters and adversaries aired their grievances about the ongoing dispute and an investigation of Crisp that resulted in him being returned to work.
Coach has bullied my son openly in front of offensive coaches and players. But in your investigation, you did not interview all of the offensive football players who witnessed it.
Adding fuel to the fire, this letter sent to the district's board last week by its longtime facilities director, who asked, quote, "How do you possibly tell kids Medina Valley ISD's policy is one of anti-drugs?" The school board just promoted and accepted the use of drugs as acceptable behavior.
Well, let's find a solution. Let's get a neutral third party to handle an investigation, a correct investigation. And if everybody finds that we're lying, then we're lying and we're wrong. But what if we find that it happened?
For the Defenders, Dylan Collier, KSAT 12 News.
Now, district officials said that the female employee in question wasn't forced to resign, but was instead allowed to resign, citing health reasons. Now, KSAT asked to interview Superintendent Dr. Kenneth Rohrbach several times, but we were denied. Now, new on the Nightbeat, a motorcycle driver in the hospital tonight after crashing into a car. It happened around 6:30 at a store on West Bitters Road and Savannah Pass. According to San Antonio police, the driver of a Nissan was pulling out of the store onto the road when a man on a motorcycle T-boned that car. The man was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries, and police say that intoxication was not a factor in this accident. It's unclear at this point how fast the motorcycle was going. Now, we now have an update tonight on the shooting on a charter bus from a visiting Dallas area school. Today, the Dallas ISD superintendent held a press conference and said that the gun belonged to one of the players on the Dallas Kimball basketball team. At this point, it's unclear if the shooting was on purpose or accidental. The superintendent said that he spoke with the University Interscholastic League, which is allowing the team to remain in the state tournament.
There are no excuses for this. And we can't talk our way into things that we behave ourselves into.
That was Michael Hinojosa. He also says that the woman who was shot was a student trainer on the team. He says that she's out of surgery and heading back to Dallas with her family. We're learning more tonight about the deadly shooting of a toddler. A man's been arrested in connection with the weapon that was used in that shooting. Happened last month on the southeast side. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, 2-year-old Jules Gonzalez shot herself with a gun allegedly owned by 32-year-old Christopher Ramirez. He was the boyfriend of the child's mother, and when authorities searched his home, they found a duffel bag with a handgun. Now, that in and of itself is a problem because he's a convicted felon, so he can't own a firearm. If he's convicted in this shooting, he faces up to 10 years in prison. Now tonight, Crime Stoppers needs your help. It wants to know if you can identify an aggravated robbery suspect, the one that you see on your screen. According to San Antonio police, this happened yesterday at the ABC Food Mart on the 1200 block of East Highland Boulevard. Officers say the suspect pointed a gun at the store clerk, demanded money for the register, and once the suspect had the money, he left the store in a small SUV. So if you have any information on what happened, you can call Crime Stoppers. The number is 210-224-7867. Now, other big headlines today, we can talk about relief. Officials in Seguin say that almost 90% of homes and businesses there have their gas service again. We know that thousands of homes and businesses in that city and McQueenie lost their access to natural gas earlier this week. Today, CenterPoint Energy crews went back to the homes and businesses that still didn't have gas to go and reconnect the lines. The energy company says that another company damaged the gas line that disrupted this service, and that gas line was fixed yesterday. San Antonio police have a person in custody for being a part of a group that stole a man's car at gunpoint. SAPD says that 18-year-old Andrew Cisneros was involved in a crash with the victim last month. Investigators say that while the victim was looking at the damage, several people got out of the other vehicle and then pointed a gun at the victim. Cisneros was found in the stolen car with 2 others. Police say that he confessed to several other robberies. He's now being charged with aggravated robbery. Now, 3 educators from our area have a pretty big job. They're now on a task force with the Texas Education Agency, and they're supposed to figure out why there aren't enough teachers. Those educators are Andrew Kim, Roland Toscano, and Diana Barrera Ugarte. The task force was created to help better understand the staffing shortages in districts around the state and also to address some policy changes. The task force encompasses educators in public education across Texas from various backgrounds. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash.
Alrighty, today was a more seasonable day, especially compared to some of the weather that we've had earlier in the week. Check out your high temperatures across the area. 74 at the airport in San Antonio. Meanwhile, 78 in Pleasanton, 80 in Cotulla, and 72 up in Kerrville. If you're planning your day tomorrow, you'll want to factor in some pretty big weather changes. If you'll be out early in the morning, temperatures will be hovering near 60 degrees. Will be cloudy with some pockets of mist, drizzle, very light rain. But we've got a front coming through about 9 o'clock in the morning. So by the time you're heading home, you will want a jacket or a coat. Temperatures will be falling through the 40s. Skies clearing, and that clearing will factor into the widespread freeze we anticipate Saturday morning. Details coming up in the full forecast.
Just keep those layers handy. handy.
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Katie. Well, still ahead, a look overseas. What happened when leaders from Ukraine and Russia met today for talks? Also, you're going to hear from app-based delivery drivers about how the rise in gas prices is affecting what they do. That's coming up after the break. Yes, this has been the big talk around town. Inflation is up. The Labor Department says it's up by 8%, which is the highest jump in 40 years. It's the reason why everything's a lot more expensive. Now, we asked how it's affecting tourism in San Antonio since it's such a big part of the city's economy. And Visit San Antonio's board chairman says that he's remaining optimistic.
Well, based on past history, we do very, very well when the economy takes dives and goes the other way, shall we say.
Now, here's a closer look at price increases because of inflation. We know that groceries are up about 7%. Plane tickets are up close to 13%. Hotels and motels are up by 29%. And as for gas, prices there up 38%. No surprise there. And it's that increase that's hurting so many of us, especially drivers who work for apps like DoorDash, Lyft, and Uber. The increase in gas prices is cutting into their profits. The Night Team's Patty Santos talks to drivers who are actually thinking of quitting.
The Honda would take me exactly $25 to fill up, to go 400 miles. Now, it only gets me about half a tank.
Driving for rideshare companies and food delivery apps has paid the bills and family extras for 5 years for Joseph Clappinger. Gas and mileage receipts are tracking the drastic jump in prices. With prices averaging $3.75, he says it's not even worth getting out of the driveway. I
tried looking at last weekend going, just turned on my app, and I sat in one area for about 45 minutes because I had some free time. Didn't get one hit. People are going out less, taking the bus more, and cutting back on food deliveries. Those are luxuries, and those are luxuries, unfortunately, people are cutting back on because they're having to cut costs. I pay my own gas out of my own pocket. Greg Weber, delivery driver for Poppy's Pizza, is grateful some customers are a bit more generous with their tips. To work, you have to have gas. If you don't have gas, you can't work. At $5 per delivery, his boss says that might have to change soon.
What scares me now, if gas stays like this, they're going to use that as an excuse to take everything else up, because they're going to say it costs that much more to put it on the truck and get it here. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Now, if you're wondering, this really has a trickle-down effect, right? Because it affects you, the consumer. Now that there are fewer drivers, your next ride is going to cost you more, just the way it works. So now going to international news, they were supposed to consider a ceasefire or establishing some sort of a humanitarian corridor, but those talks fell apart when leaders from Ukraine and Russia met today. Ukraine is asking NATO to create a no-fly zone over the country, but it's a step that NATO allies have resisted because they fear that it could expand the war. However, a member of Ukraine's parliament says that's already happening.
2 million of refugees in Europe. The nuclear threat, because Putin continues shelling the nuclear plants in Ukraine, which brings up a tremendous threat to the whole world.
Now, back in the U.S., the Senate has passed the new government spending bill that includes $13.6 billion of aid for Ukraine. That's supposed to help with humanitarian defense and economic relief. And now that bill is going to head to President Joe Biden's desk for him to sign it, since the House also passed it. All right, now we're going to take a live look outside. We have Sky 12 over the Tower Life building. A nice shot right there tonight. 65 degrees right now. And, totally, I would say, Katie, a comfortable night. But tomorrow is going to be a layering kind of day.
Oh, definitely. We've got the cold coming in. We've got the wind. That flag on top of the Tower Life building, it is always moving since it's so high up, but it is really going to be whipping this time tomorrow night. We've got a cold front coming in tomorrow morning, and then a freeze into the weekend. So some preps that you'll be wanting to make over the next few nights. I kind of tried to break it down for you because there is a lot going on. Tonight, and you've still got some time to do this, prep for gusty winds tomorrow. So securing loose outdoor patio furniture, light patio furniture or patio decor because winds will be gusting up to 45 miles per hour at times tomorrow. Then Friday night, that's the night to prep for the freeze that sets in Saturday morning. And then we're looking at the potential for another freeze Sunday morning. So another round of freeze prep as we get into Saturday night. So don't worry about the plants tonight. That will be tomorrow night. Out on satellite and radar, no rain, but we have had some clouds steadily build in from the south this evening, and by early tomorrow morning, everyone will be sitting under cloudy skies. It's 57 in Kerrville, 65 in Pleasanton, and 67 in Cotulla. So as Stephanie has said, yes, a very comfortable night, and I know I wish we could just hold on to this maybe for another day, but changes are not too far away. Look at the northern tier of Texas in this deep blue color here, indicating colder air moving in. It's 19 in Amarillo, 27 in Lubbock, 36 in Abilene. Meanwhile, out ahead of this cold front, some spots still in the 50s, and we are in the 60s, even low 70s down in deep South Texas. Not a lot of rain associated with this frontal boundary. As it moves through tomorrow morning, all we're talking about in the rainfall department is some mist and drizzle developing as low clouds fill back in overnight and a couple of very small spotty showers. Anything that falls out of the sky tomorrow is going to be very light, such that it only adds up to less than 1/10 of an inch of rain. So the rain is really not where we are going to feel the effects of this front. But nonetheless, through the first part of the day tomorrow, things could feel a little damp at times with the very light rain around. We expect the cold front to move through San Antonio and generally drop south of Highway 90 by about 9-10 a.m. in the morning. By lunchtime, it's through. We'll start to feel the effects as far as temperature and wind goes by lunchtime. But as we get into the early afternoon, any chance of even that light rain will fall out of the forecast, and then we'll wait on skies to clear out late tomorrow afternoon, early tomorrow evening. So again, the rain is really not where we're going to feel this cold front. It is the temperatures. Early part of the day tomorrow through about 8 a.m. will be near 60 degrees. Then as the front comes through closer to 9 a.m., temperatures start to fall. By lunchtime, we're in the 40s, and we will be stuck in the 40s all afternoon tomorrow with very windy conditions. Our winds, once the front moves through, will be up near 20-30 miles per hour with wind gusts up to 40-45 miles per hour through the afternoon into the evening hours, letting up tomorrow night through early Saturday morning. It'll be the combination of clearing skies tomorrow night, wind speeds gradually dropping, very dry air, and a cold air mass moving in that set us up for our late season freeze, a widespread freeze Friday night into Saturday morning. So everyone should prep for a freeze as we head into the weekend. Another freeze is likely Saturday night into Sunday morning. Once we get past this weekend, things next week are much more seasonable, my friends. We're back in the upper 70s and low 80s for afternoon highs. We'll be glad to see that, I think.
Oh, yeah. So, Greg, poor DeJounte.
You know what? He's rebound shy of his 18 triple-double, and he's got the markings to show for it here because he got pretty bruised up, battered up, but at the same time, he's not broken. He's going to be back. We'll show you what happened to DeJounte and what his teammates think about his return and who is headed to the state finals now coming up. Spurs head coach Greg Popovich will have to wait another night to become the all-time winningest coach in NBA history. That's after the Spurs failed to bring home the W last night against the Toronto Raptors. The first half was great for the Spurs as Keldon Johnson was scoring at will, 15 of his game-high 27 points coming in the first half. Right behind him was DeJounte Murray with 25 points, 12 assists, and missing his 18th career triple-double by just one rebound. But the turning point in the game came in the third quarter, just under 7 to play, when Murray, driving to the basket, knocked heads with the Raptors' Khem Birch. Both left the court bleeding into towels. Birch, by the way, would not return, but later Murray appeared back on the court. By then, though, it was just too late. The Raptors had built back up their lead behind Fred VanVleet's 26 points in the 119-104 victory, holding the Spurs to just 43 points in the second half. What did Keldon think of Murray getting back on the court to help his teammates?
I mean, he's a true leader. I mean, he do whatever it takes for the best thing for the team and for us to win. So, I mean, it didn't surprise me when I seen him come back. I mean, I expected him to come back. That's DeJounte.
When DeJounte appeared for his post-game interview, he looked like he had been in a battle with the top of his forehead bandaged. No stitches, he said, no concussion protocol.
It looked like he tried to bite me. it happens. It's the NBA. I'm good. When I left, it was a tie game. I come back, it's 10-point lead, 10, 11-point lead. So you gotta fight. It's the NBA. Next man up. I believe we tried. But things happen. It happened, and we tried.
They'll try again tomorrow when they play host to the Utah Jazz at 7:30. The Cole Cougars are looking to become back-to-back state champs, but first they would have to get by Hitchcock in the Class 3A state semifinals at the Alamo Dome today. Cougars couldn't get off to a much better start here. Silas Livingston in the corner for the three to help Cole jump out to a 15-0 lead. Trey Blackmore knocks down a step-back three, and it's 19-5 after one. Dre Ray spins baseline for the layup, and the Cougars are up 28-13 at the half. Third quarter, Ray drops a hammer on this play, drives down that lane and throws down that monster jam over two defenders. Cole up 9 going to the fourth. The Bulldogs got close in that final period, but the Cougars hit their free throws down the stretch and punched their ticket to the championship game Saturday, 53-49.
Came out fast, came out getting up, shooting really well. Then after that, teams are going to get runs throughout the game. So, we just had to know how to battle back.
I think the experience that we had in the past has helped us a lot. Just playing in big games and big atmosphere, I felt like having that experience really helped us stay together and composed as a team.
All right, tonight the champion Chargers looking for a trip to the state finals in Class 5A, but the Chargers have to get by Mansfield Timberview. Chargers setting the tone early. Charlie Georgelos causing the turnover. Brandon Baum scoops up the loose ball, takes it in all the way back for the early lead. More defense now leads to offense. It's Baum, this time creating the turnover. Braxton Burdick puts it up and in. Champion up 13-11 after one. The outside shooting gets going in the second. Baum from behind the arc keeps the Chargers in the lead. Then Jesse Pert knocks down this three, but Timberview takes the lead 28-25 right before halftime, and the Chargers fall in this one 55-43. So here's a look at how the tournament stacks up now. Tomorrow is still in the semifinals. Bernie taking on Wichita Falls. That'll be at 3. And then don't forget Saturday for the championship game for Cole. That'll be at 10 a.m. against Dallas Madison. The last practice before spring break. Next. The UTSA Roadrunners continue their spring workouts today in much better weather than they started on Monday on that cold and windy morning in March. This is their first day in pads, and last before the Roadrunners go on spring break next week. So how in the world do the Roadrunners top what they did for head coach Jeff Traylor in just his second year as a head coach, setting the school record with a 12-win season on top of that, their first ever Conference USA championship?
The climb is always the most fun. It usually takes 4 to 5 years, and we got there in 2. So we expedited it, which means the expectations next year will be unrealistic, and our guys will be the ones that had to handle all that. So we're going to have a good football team next year, but our schedule is a lot harder than it was last year. So how do we handle all that? I don't know. That's what's so fun about this. If it were that easy, I wouldn't be looking as terrible as I do, during the season. That's why I don't have hair and I've got these saggy eyes, because you just don't know.
The Major League Baseball season is back on with a full 162 games after the lockout ended today with a new collective bargaining agreement. The owners have already ratified it. Spring training will open this Sunday, with opening day now set for April the 7th. So after fearing they were going to lose at least 2 weeks to the regular season, now it's back to a full season, and everybody couldn't be happier, because if one thing baseball provides us with, distraction. And we all need distraction these days, don't we?
This is true.
Yep.
This is true. All right, thank you. We'll be right back after this. So we know that right now gas prices are a concern for everybody. So right now on KSAT.com, we have links to where you can find the best gas prices across our city. We have a list there with the 10 lowest prices per gallon. Some of those locations are around 25 cents below the current city average, so it's a lot. In the article, you can also find ways to get the best gas mileage out of your vehicle. And by the way, if you want to fill up, I would kind of suggest doing it soon, because there's nothing like waiting to just fill up your pump or your tank when it's cold outside.
Yes, the cold in the mornings. Don't wait until Saturday or Sunday mornings. It's going to be very cold. Hey, next week looks a lot better. We just got a couple of cold days to get through.
All right, Katie, thank you so much. And thank you for joining us and keeping us company. Have a wonderful night. GMSA starts at 4:30. Sleep sweet.